We made it, people. Yeah, we did. We made it to the start of college football. One more preview to do, and later on today, I will also release my picks for week 0 in college football. Work first, things first. One more preview. You don't even have to tell you who it is. You know who it is if you follow me. Let's go to Norman, baby. Over. Time to preview the Oklahoma Sooners. All right, let's do it. The Sooners of Oklahoma play their home games at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners last year's version of Oklahoma, coming off of a 6-7 overall year, 3-6 inside the confines of the Big 12 Conference. They are tied at 3-6 with Kansas and West Virginia from last year. With 6 overall wins, though, they did make it to a bowl game out in Orlando against Florida State, where they lost 35-32 to Florida State. Their head coach, Brent Venables, started his time, and not the Big 12 that we know of now, the Big 8, in fact, and was a great linebacker in 1992 for Kansas State back in the original Big 8 days for the Wildcats. As far as a coach, he's only known as a head coach, that is, basically only known the revamped Big 12 Conference. Only job is at Oklahoma with the Sooners. Been here since 2022, and no division since coming back to Oklahoma. All right, guys, let's take a look at statistical advantages Oklahoma might have now, including my dancing buddy. You know, he likes to get down. No, I like to get down, as does Dillon Gabriel. Like to get down. Gabriel, last year, 3,168 yards through the passing yards, 25 TDs, 6 picks, a longest completion from 78 yards, and played in 12 of the 13 games last year. Remember, last year knocked out about midway through the game, a little bit before halftime, more like at the start of the second quarter against TCU, and was up the entire Texas game with the concussionary symptoms. Rushing leaders this year. Number 2, Javante Barnes. Barnes last year, by the end, had 116 overall carries to go for 519 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns, including a long-distance run of 31 yards, playing in 11 of the 13 games against, with the Sooners, I should say. Another leading rusher, Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel last year, 89 runs last year to go for 315 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns, including a long-distance 61-yard run against the Nebraska Cornhuskers in 12 games. Now, the rest of these guys played basically in all 13 games. We'll start with wide receivers. Wide receiver Jalil Farooqua and Drake Stoops. We'll start with Jalil Farooq last year, 37 catches last year to go for 466 receiving yards, including 5 touchdowns. Also included an 83-yard touchdown reception, playing in all 13 games for the Sooners of Oklahoma. Now we'll go to Drake Stoops. Stoops, 39 total receptions last year to go with 393 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, including a long-distance reception from 33 yards, and last year playing in 13 games. So we talked offense. Let's talk a little defense. My boy, my homie, filling out the blonde bleached hair now is number 28, Danny Stutsman. Stutsman, 124 tackles last year, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, had a pick last year in 13 games. And by the way, the 124 is the active returning tackling leader for the Big 12 Conference. Helping him handle the defense will be 0 Woody Washington. Washington, 66 total tackles to go with a forced fumble, 0 fumbles recovered, and a pick from a safety spot playing in 13 games last year for Oklahoma. All right, next, let's go to some special teams. Punters and kickers. The punter, number 48, Luke Elzinga. 55 punts last year, averaging 43.0 in average. 4 touchbacks, 22 balls inside the 20-yard line, and a long-distance punt from 65 yards. Playing in 12 games last year with Central Michigan. So he comes in from Central Michigan to play at Oklahoma. No transfer here. Zach Schmidt. The kicker Schmidt wears number 34 for the Sooners and was 12 for 18, set 67% last year, and a long-distance kick from 44 yards, playing in 13 games last year for the Sooners of Oklahoma. All right, guys, that will wrap this thing up. We'll ship it out. Coming up next week, you know what it is. The full, real preview. Both teams, Oklahoma, Arkansas State. We'll preview the game itself. Contain yourself, Sooner Nation. One more week. Until then, you guys know me. I'm Harry James. You can catch this and on the Facebook page, Harry James Taylor, or on my Twitter at SoonerFan1982, or on my YouTube page, 1982 Boomer Sooner. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, Boomer Sooner, everybody. I guess I'm out of here. Peace.